We continued evacuating our soldiers and put them in the armored vehicles and drove them back to the Israeli border. We called it our own funeral because we couldn't participate in the funerals in Israel, so we had to, in a way, participate in our own funeral for us. So we said the verses of Tehillim while evacuating our soldiers from Bint Jbeil to the Israeli border. When we came to the border, we gave the bodies to people from the IDF rabbis, and we changed our uniforms because they were filled from the blood of the other soldiers. Only then we were ordered to come back to fight in Bint Jbeil. It wasn't easy for our battalion to overcome this situation. After we lost 8 of our comrades and dozens were wounded, most of the company commanders were injured or killed. And even though the decision was that the 51st Battalion would continue fighting till the end of the war like any other battalion in the Golani or the other brigades, we knew that if we went to our mission, no one will do it. So we had to overcome this situation, this bad situation of seeing our friends dying and being injured, even though we continue fighting till the end of the war. We came back, fought for a few more weeks in that area, and about 2 weeks later, we had another mission, again in Bint Jbeil. This time we came from a different path, from the east side. We came in a line of a few armored vehicles and tanks, 8 or 9 armored vehicles and tanks. After driving about 1 mile or 2, I was the third in line. I heard in the radio that the tank officer who leads the way was not sure about the right path to get into Bint Jbeil. Because I knew where this area, I tried to help him, so I decided to open my cabin, actually to take my upper body out of the armored vehicle, while I was standing erect on the seat in the armored vehicle. That way I could see a lot better the battlefield, but the disadvantage was once you take out your upper body and your head from the armored vehicle, you're a lot more exposed to snipers or any other bombs who will be shot on us. I spoke maybe a few words in the radio trying to explain him the right path to get into Bint Jbeil, but just then I saw from the distance something who looked to me like a flashlight and then like a kind of like a fireball coming direct to us. In the first 2 seconds I wasn't sure if they were shooting my vehicle or maybe one of the others in line, but I didn't have time to think about it. After about 2 or 3 seconds, the anti-tank missile hit my armored vehicle, penetrated the armor, and exploded in the vehicle. I was at the moment standing, as I said, on my seat, so the missile actually hit both of my legs. If I was at those seconds sitting, I probably couldn't come here to tell you the story. I felt like a shadow like in the vehicle, and then something like burning me from the down of my body, from the bottom to the upper part. I tried to look down, I couldn't see so well, everything was on fire, and also I had my eyes were soot covered. I yelled to my soldiers, I had 2 soldiers in the vehicle, to my right my gunner, to my left Ori, my driver, so I told Ohad, my gunner, to fire back, and Ori tried to stop the vehicle. Luckily at this mission, almost uniquely, I didn't have more soldiers in the back of the vehicle. Mostly we had like 3 or 4 soldiers lying in the back of the vehicle. This time luckily we decided not to put them in, so only like bags and stuff were exploded, but luckily not our comrades. So Ohad started to, my gunner started to fire back, while the other tanks and vehicles also fired back, especially the tanks. Started to fire shells, and the Hezbollah terrorists and the Hezbollah were firing at us, anti-tank missiles, and more gunners were still fighting. I heard from the back that one of the other platoon commanders from my company heard the explosion. Actually, I'm the only one who really saw this anti-tank missile. The other guys heard the explosion but didn't see it. So once they heard the explosion, they stopped altogether, like in the radio. I was the only one who didn't respond because my radio also exploded from the missile. So, but then one of the other platoon commanders, Hikam was his name, saw that my vehicle is continuing like to drive like no one is driving it, and then also on fire. So we understood that I was the one who was hit. So we said in the radio that 3, like I was 39, 3 was injured. I'm going to evacuate. He climbed to my space. I was like in the highest place on the area. He climbed to my place and started to evacuate us from. He wanted to come from the back door. I told him not to come from there because all the bags were there. So the only way to take us out is to climb on the vehicle. So we were like on a small hill, the highest place. Everything was on fire, and then to climb on the vehicle, it's like the most exposed, the most dangerous place. But Achikam didn't hesitate. He climbed with one of the soldiers, and I told him that I cannot get out by myself. I didn't know exactly what happened to me, but when I looked down, what I could see that my right boot was kind of like in a very different way. I mean, not a normal way for a boot to be, like an upside down. So I saw something happened there in my legs. So I told them that I need a stretcher. I can't do it by myself. Ori and Oad got out themselves. They were also wounded mildly, but I knew I needed a stretcher. So Achikam pulled me out with another soldier, put me on a stretcher, and started 4 of my soldiers started to running back with me downhill from this battle zone. A helicopter came to rescue us, but he couldn't land because the Hezbollah were continuing firing back, so the helicopter couldn't land. So my company commander was fighting. They decided that they would evacuate us to the border. While running with me downhill, I was on the stretcher. I suddenly felt a very tough pain in my right leg. I looked, I didn't see well, but I could see that kind of my right leg from the underneath kind of falling down from the stretcher. I was sure at that point that I lost my leg. I yelled to one of the soldiers to take what's left of my leg, put it back in the stretcher. It was only like tied back with a few vessels, but I was sure at the moment that I lost my right leg. They continued running with me downhill, put me in some tank. There I got the first medical treatment from some medic, and then they started driving very fast from the battle zone to the Israeli border. Only when we came to the Israeli border, I was taken out. 2 physicians jumped on me and started to stabilize my condition. 2 physicians from the reserve force. I mean, they were called from all the hospitals in Israel, and hopefully the next time, hopefully there won't be any next time, but if there will be, people like you guys, the APF, will help in the hospitals. The people from the reserve force came, and they could be like, any reserve force. I couldn't get a neurosurgeon and whatever, but I got an orthopedic and a vascular surgeon, like exactly the thing is the physicians I needed for my legs, even though no one knew like what happened to me. They stabilized my condition and put me on a helicopter, and the helicopter took off to Rambam. Before I continue, I want to show you like a short video on a little bit on the war and rehabilitation, then I'll continue to speak.
תצעידנו לשלום ותדרכנו לשלום ותשמחנו לשלום ותגירנו מחוץ חפצנו לחיים ושמחה ושלום ותחזרנו לשלום. ברוך אתה אדוני שומע תפילה. אני כל הזמן כשחיילים בסדר, ברגע שאני נכנס